Welcome to Royal Lovers. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and show some love to royalty. I am your host, Carl. Today we delve into the fiery temperament of King Charles, a trait that has been the talk of the kingdom for a while now. Recently at the state opening of Parliament, His Majesty snapped at a page boy who was merely trying to adjust his fur robe. This incident once again stirred up a heated discussion about the king's notorious temper. These page boys, usually the sons of aristocrats or close friends of the Windsors, are often at the receiving end of Charles's short fuse. This recent episode was not an isolated case, but one of many public incidents involving Charles's temper. It seems like King Charles's reign has been punctuated by such episodes of impatience and irritation. Remember when he got fussy over an inkpot just after his coronation? Or the time he threw a tantrum over a leaky pen? These incidents, though seemingly trivial, give us a sneak peek into the king's demeanor. Valentine Lowe, a renowned royal reporter, has even reported extensively on Charles's long history of being ill-tempered, dysfunctional, and a challenging manager. He also mentioned Charles's tendency to fall under people's spells, an attribute that does not bode well for a head of state. While some may argue that Charles has mellowed since his cancer diagnosis, the recent incident involving the page boy suggests otherwise. His public outbursts, though not always tantamount to tantrums, reveal his inability to let go and roll through awkward or uncomfortable situations. So what if an inkpot is in the wrong place? So what if a pen leaked a little bit? But Charles's nature is to complain and then wallow in how everything is going wrong. This episode is yet another reminder of the Windsors' notorious treatment of their staff. It's a grim echo of how they projected all their shortcomings onto Meghan, a story that has been told far too many times. But Charles's nature is to complain and then wallow in how everything is going wrong. This is a reminder that the Windsors have always treated staff like shish tea, and they projected all of their tea onto Meghan. Charles can have a terrible temper, says one former employee. This statement sets the stage for our exploration into the expectations that King Charles has for those around him. Known for his meticulous attention to detail, King Charles is always well prepared. Whether it's a state function, a meeting with dignitaries, or even the daily functioning of the palace, he likes to have all his ducks in a row. This trait, while commendable, can also lead to confrontations with staff. He expects everyone to match his level of diligence and preparedness, which, understandably, can be quite a tall order. This isn't about being tyrannical or unreasonable, but about maintaining a certain standard of excellence that the position of a king demands. But what happens when these expectations are not met? Well, the king doesn't mince his words. He can certainly go off at the staff in pretty blunt terms when he perceives someone has not done their job properly, or is just being, to use one of his preferred terms, idiotic. This isn't about belittling those who serve him, but about ensuring that the high standards of the royal household are upheld. However, it's crucial to remember that these expectations are not just for others. They are standards that King Charles sets for himself first. He is always extremely well read on the subject matter of people he meets and works with, showing his respect for expertise and diligence in his duties. In the grand scheme of things, these expectations and the confrontations they sometimes lead to are part and parcel of working in such a demanding environment. It's about striving for excellence, about upholding a legacy that spans centuries, and about serving the nation to the best of one's abilities. So, while King Charles may have a temper and may not suffer fools gladly, it's all part of a larger picture. A picture that paints him as a dedicated, diligent, and demanding king who expects nothing but the best from himself and those around him. He can certainly go off at the staff in pretty blunt terms when he perceives someone has not done their job properly, or is just being, to use one of his preferred terms, idiotic. The former employee added, ultimately, people like working for him. This statement not only highlights King Charles's leadership style, but also provides a glimpse into the inner workings of his royal office. Now, let's delve a bit deeper into the king's office environment. Picture an office humming with activity, an atmosphere charged with a sense of purpose. This is the king's office. Here, every task is treated with utmost importance, every detail meticulously scrutinized. It's a place where the wheels of monarchy churn incessantly, shaping the course of royal engagements, philanthropic activities, and state affairs. Working for King Charles is not just about serving the throne, it's about being a part of a legacy. Despite the immense pressure, the office staff find satisfaction in their work. They value the opportunity to contribute to something larger than themselves. They respect the king's commitment to his role, his dedication to being well-prepared, well-read, and respectful of expertise. But let's not forget, King Charles, just like the rest of us, is only human. He has his moments of weakness. There are times when the weight of his responsibilities, the pressure of his role, causes him to snap. And who wouldn't? Imagine having to carry the weight of a nation on your shoulders, to constantly live up to the expectations of your subjects, to always be in the public eye. In these moments, it's important to remember that just like any one of us, the king is not immune to stress or the occasional outburst. It's an aspect of his human nature, a side that reminds us that beneath the crown and the regal attire, he is just a man doing his best in a demanding role. The office of King Charles is a place of diligence, respect, and high expectations. It's a place where people are proud to work, despite the high-pressure environment. And yes, there may be times when the king's temper flares, when his patience wears thin. Unfortunately, there is sometimes a camera on him when it happens. So, what we've learned today is that Charles, like all of us, is not without his faults. Indeed, his temper has been the subject of many a discussion and countless headlines. We've seen it manifest in instances as trivial as misplaced inkpots to as significant as state openings of parliament. The king's fiery temperament, it appears, does not discriminate. But let's not forget that these outbursts often stem from his high expectations of those around him and, most critically, himself. The king, as we've seen, is a man who prides himself on his preparedness, his knowledge, and his respect for expertise. With such a formidable approach to his responsibilities, it's no wonder he demands the same of those in his vicinity. The king's office, as we've discovered, is a hive of activity, a place brimming with pressure and expectation. And yet, despite the occasional outburst, it seems that people enjoy working for the king. They appreciate his diligence, his commitment, and his respect for expertise. But when the pressure mounts, when the camera lens is focused, it's in these moments that the king's human side, his temper, is most evident. The implications of Charles's temper on his image and his staff are twofold. On the one hand, his outbursts can be seen as signs of an uncompromising leader, one who demands nothing but the best from his team. On the other hand, these instances have led to a perception of Charles as an ill-tempered monarch, one who struggles to navigate through awkward or uncomfortable moments. In the end, Charles is a complex figure, a man of high expectations and a fiery temper, a diligent worker and a respected leader. His journey as a monarch is an ongoing one, a narrative that continues to unfold before our very eyes. Thank you everyone for watching the video, and show some love by subscribing and sharing the video. Remember to leave a comment. Thank you. I am your loyal host, Carl.